Hey guys, Reed here and welcome to ReadReborn. Today's video is a guide on the first dungeon released in Heavensward, Dusk Vigil. To get into this dungeon you need to be a minimum of level 51 and you need to progress through the main story until you get to the Convictory in Coerthas Western Highlands, then pick up a side quest from a lady called Wield Theo called For All the Nights to Come. So the first boss in this dungeon is called the Towering Oliphant. So our first AoE to look out for is a circular AoE around the boss called Rear. When you see this, just be sure to dodge and move out the way. So throughout this fight, random players will be targeted by an orange circle. When targeted by this, they'll get a debuff called Down for the Count, meaning they can't move or use any abilities. The boss then uses one of two abilities. One is Woolly Inspiration. This sucks players in and then throws them in the air. And secondly is a move called Rout, which charges at players and knocks them back. However, I think for this move, when you get close to the boss, as you can see, the player there just got a buff called Covered. And that means they didn't take any damage from this move. So when you get targeted, just be sure to move towards the boss just in case he does rout, and then you'll be covered from damage. One raid-wide move that the boss does is Prehistoric Trumpet. This does 1,750 damage to everyone in the party. But after DPSing the boss down and dodging the AoEs and things, you'd have killed the boss and then can carry on with the dungeon. So after killing some more monsters, you're going to make it to the second boss room and face Sir Yulmeric. So a first AoE to look out for is a small circular AoE around the boss called Tumulus. When you see this, just be sure to dodge it and move out of the way. And the second move to look out for is a move called Brain Drain. This is a raid-wide move that does around 1,000 damage and then summons 2 to 3 adds that are lying on the floor. These should be killed as quick as possible as they cast moves that buff themselves and the boss, giving themselves extra damage and making themselves harder to kill. So later on in this fight, after he casts Brain Drain, he's going to cast a move called Death Spiral, and this is a massive move that can only be avoided when you get close to the boss. So later in the fight, when he casts Brain Drain, just be sure to get close to him. And secondly, later on in the fight, the adds are different. So as you can see, these ones are like mages, and they cast AoEs and different buffs for themselves and the boss. But just keep up the process of dodging the AoEs and taking out the adds when they spawn. And then you would have killed him and can carry on with the dungeon. After killing some more monsters, you will come into the final boss room and face the Griffin Ophinicus. One AoE to look out for is a straight line AoE called Alpine Draft, and if this is targeted on you, just be sure to move out of the way. Another move the boss does is Free Fall. He just targets a random player and jumps towards them, doing small damage. So the main mechanic in this fight is a move called Whirling Jail, and a large whirlwind spawns in the middle, and players need to run to the edge or behind the rocks that are around the area to not be sucked in. If they get sucked in, the boss will stun them and then launch them up into the air, dealing some medium-high damage. And finally, a move to look out for is called Winds of Winter. This is a raid-wide move that does medium damage, and a way you can avoid this is by standing behind the rocks that are around the arena. So after DPSing the boss down and dodging all the AoEs, you would have killed the boss and finished Dusk Vigil. But that is my guide over. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more Final Fantasy XIV videos in the future.